Look! Oh, snap! Check out the countdown. Oh, snap! That means ropes is going down. Let's get it! Pro Wrestling Today is stacked with some of the best referees. Now, Women's Wrestling Army, they took it up a notch by having this referee come aboard. She's live, making her return to Off the Top Rope this Saturday night live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, to talk with your boy, I'm Ty Asbury. Elaine Simon joins the show talking up about her journey as becoming a pro wrestling referee. Watch it as we get full flex live.
Tyrone Asbury. Yo. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey. Only the greats can.
What is up, everybody? It's Saturday night, and you know what's going down. Of course, I'm your boy, Ty Asbury. And speaking of things going down, my live guest making her return on Off the Top Rope. She's in the middle of the ring, counting down the middle, 1, 2, 3, of course, in Women's Wrestling Army, Coastal Championship Wrestling. It's been a long time since I've talked to this talented superstar. Like I said, welcome back, the one, the only, like I said, Elaine Simon. Elaine, how you doing?
I'm fantastic. How you doing, Ty? It's been a long time.
Girl, it's been a long time. I mean, it's been, I don't know, I can't count, but it's been a long time. But first and foremost, like I said, we've kept in touch. And how you been?
I'm good. You know, I've had some ups and downs and some obstacle courses along my life, but I'm happy to say I'm in a very good place in life right now.
Yeah, I can tell you definitely I mean, we'll talk about it more in the broadcast. Women's Wrestling Army, you know, Coastal Championship Wrestling, Mission Pro. I'm like, man, she's really getting her referee groove in. And I got to say, first and foremost, I'm proud of you for doing those things. And first and foremost, too, by looking at it, is like, man, when you're a referee, going from those three great places, it must keep you really busy.
Yeah, and they've been such a learning and growing experience from all three of those places to, you know, it's just been a journey, to be honest, from going from a competitor in the ring to now being an official. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah. You know, like, and two, people don't really understand for you, Elaine, is that you have been doing this for a long, long time. And does it happen in wrestling where you don't really think of like, damn, I've been doing this for so long. It don't matter if you're a wrestler or a referee. Does that really hit you every now and then?
Every now and then when I look at certain things and I was like, wow, I really have been around this for the majority of my adult life. I say wrestling raised me, and I truly believe that it has. You know, it's made me one of the boys, and it's made me grow up as well because I've been around it for so long and I've seen so many changes in that time.
Yeah, you know, and the thing about this too that we have talked about, like, since the last time we've done the show together, like, how have fans showed their support towards you? I mean, you said a lot about you have your ups and downs, you know, a lot of downs, but how have wrestling fans showed you like their love? Because wrestling fans, when they love you, they love hard.
And I've been so lucky and blessed in that sense that when I made the transition from being a wrestler to a referee, the majority of the fans that I had from one stayed with me to the other and really have been supportive of my journey, supportive of my life. And for that, to be honest with you, I've been really, really lucky and blessed that they've stuck it out with me and supported me. I mean, I've even gained some new ones being a referee that were unaware that I even wrestled before. Like at Mission Pro, there was a little girl that came there with a sign that said, "We heart Ref Lane." And I was just like, that is so cute.
That's why, like I said, when they wrestling fans love, they love you no matter what.
Mhm.
You know, of course, what you do, you know, in the ring as well. And when you said that you were going to make the transition from being an in-ring competitor to referees, like, was it like a shock to fans, or fans were like, girl, hey, no matter what you got to do, just go do what you got to do?
It was the latter of the two. It was, they supported me no matter what. And I've had longtime fans in the Orlando area that were like, we love this side of you. This is amazing. And I think for me too, is the change in me was the difference in gaining new fans as well as helping the old ones, because I'm still the same person. It's just
Yeah.
transitioning into a different role and a different character sometimes too. Even being a referee, you have to change certain things about yourself.
Yeah. I got to ask you this, Lainey, is that a lot of guests I've had on the show, it's something about the Orlando, Florida area. What is it about Orlando and wrestling? Because it's like, do you want to get some sun and have fun wrestling? What is it about wrestlers in Orlando, Florida? It's like, man, I got to ask somebody that. So since you're here tonight, I got to ask you, what's popping about Orlando and wrestling?
Um, because there's such a rich history of wrestling in Orlando and even Florida as a whole, because of, you had places like FCW that transferred into being the performance center here. You had TNA when they were TNA that would work out of Universal. That's now AEW. You have a lot of homegrown talent here that has done big things, and you have talent that have been to the bigger places that live here now. So it's a mixture of all of that combined together.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing, and it's good that when you take a look at how wrestling it's still evolving. Like, how do you feel about like you said, because you got the AEWs, WWE, you got Impact, Ring of Honor, NWA, like being in the business, like, and looking at wrestling today as we speak tonight. Do you think like this is so cool? Like all these freaking wrestling promotions and you being a ref, I mean, you can add so much to your resume, already great resume.
Thank you. Um, I love it because there's such a variety. It's almost like, I use the analogy of baseball. Just because you can't be the MVP of one team doesn't mean you have to stay on the bench. It means you can go play for another team. There's so many choices, whether it be, like you said, AEW, Impact, MLW, Ring of Honor now, the resurgence of that through AEW. There is WWE. So there's a lot of different outlets for you to kind of go with it to see where you land, basically. Or, like you said, to garner experience for a resume.
Yeah. And also too, the thing is that like a lot of wrestlers have talked about it. You a lot of the thing is you can go overseas. We got New Japan Wrestling. I mean, like that's another thing. I mean, it's just so much that you can do. So it don't matter, like I've said, if you're a referee, wrestler, ring announcer, or whatever, like wrestling today must be really good for you because like you can just do like so much. Like it's just it's really a cool thing to see what wrestlers, what you guys can do today, because you have a lot to be thankful for, like you said too, at the top of the show as well. So now I made this clip for you, and Mission Pro Wrestling, Thunder Rosa Wrestle, she runs that. A lot of great talent there. So I made this clip for you, and I kind of did my history, but I want to bring this up to you that, even I said Mission Pro Wrestling, they even love you. So like when you look back, they were actually like sponsoring you for these shows December 11th, 2021 and January 29th of 2022. Now, was this a big turnout for you because fans can sponsor wrestlers or refs now? If you go back and remember, how big of a success was this for you?
These were both very big successes for me. I actually ended up just working the one on January 29th, which was a really interesting one for me, both good for being at a show and being distracted, but it was a really rough time in my life. So it was just nice to be around the fans, and when you're around them and they're just so happy, they fill your heart with so much joy that you almost forget what's going on in your personal life because you're just like, oh, this is great. That was actually the January 29th show was where the little girl brought the sign. And it was at a time where I really needed the pick-me-up and the love. So to have that for that one and it be super cool, I was just like, this is great. And that's the one thing I am, like I said before, I'm severely blessed that I have people who love and support me in and out of the ring. So that one was a good show and a good turnout. I love Texas. The Texas fans are very, very cool.
They sound like they could be like real hardcore, but I'm just glad that, and I want to talk about in a couple of minutes how
far you've become. Because I remember last time I had you on the show, you were at a different place. I mean, like you were at the time an in-ring competitor, but we'll talk about it in a couple minutes. But one thing I want to talk to everybody about, you're missing Off the Top Rope Saturday night. Get your butt on your phone, TV, watch. Of course, we got the one, the only, making her return to the ropes. Elaine Simon is back. Like I said, she's talking it up about her referee career because it is hot right now. It's hot as can be. If you want to ask her a question, just leave it in the comment box. I'll read it on the air here on Off the Top Rope Saturday night. Now, Elaine, we talked about Mission Pro Wrestling. We're talking about wrestling all in general. If you look ahead, I mean, you can't really predict what's going to happen in the future, but how do you think the pretty much say evolving for women referees is going to go in the future? Because it's big. I mean, Aubrey Edwards, yourselves, there's like the thing about women referees today, it is probably the biggest it's ever been. How do you see that going in the future?
I see it only booming more, where we become not just women referees, but referees as a whole. The same thing like with the women in-ring women competitors. Like, we want to be seen as equal as the guys. So to me, sometimes, do I wear the badge of being a woman who rocks the zebra stripes? But in all general, I just want to be known as a good referee. Yeah. You know, my gender has something to do with it, but it really doesn't. Yeah. You know, I just want to be one of the best out there and show that I can hang with the guys, and my gender has nothing to do with it. But there's been such a surge in the women's movement in the referee world that it's phenomenal. Like you said, we have Aubrey AEW, we have Aja and Jess at WWE, and it's only going up from here. And you have Allison at Impact now, so it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what happens with it, and it's actually pretty exciting.
You guys are like the current Mount Rushmore of the referees, you know, in that category. So that's if I had to put y'all up there, y'all will be my Mount Rushmore for, you know, the thing about it. And, you know, Laney, when you're a referee, it comes consequences, dealing with wrestlers, people getting in your face, people, you know, hey, I didn't do that, you know, or manager saying, hey, I was in the corner. If you had to look, if it's Mission Pro, Women's Wrestling Army, Coastal Championship Wrestling, whatever it may be, if you had to pick maybe two wrestlers, who would it be that drive you crazy? Whenever you refereed or match, you're like, yeah, like, who would it be? You're like,
let's see. I'm trying to think of people that I've been in the ring with that really like try to go above and beyond. Or to be honest with you, I may even go with some ones that are fun to be in the ring with. From Mission Pro, I'm really gonna have to say Richey Chanel. Yeah, she is so much fun to be in the ring with. Coastal Championship Wrestling, I would have to say Cam Stewart and Mila Moore, the bunny. There's just, honestly, there's so many in Coastal that I enjoy being in the ring with and that drive me crazy at the same time that it's hard to pinpoint one person. To be honest with you, everybody has their moments with it. But the one, like I said, the one that I would say out of everybody so far that's been the coolest one yet would be I refereed Gangrel and Super Crazy. I feel like that was the one that I was just like, this is fantastic. They're great to work with.
What would you tell Elaine that somebody who wants to, you've been doing this for so long, a long time. Like I said, you definitely are a legend because you've been doing this for so long. What would you tell somebody if they came up to ask you, seminar, whatever, you know, they had their little notepad and they asked you, and when it comes to wrestling in 2023, I want to be a ref or a wrestler. What would you tell them? What would you give them, like giving them your book of education? What would you tell them about breaking into this business?
So there's a few points with that. One, ears open, mouth shut. Learn. Yeah. Don't be one of these people that if you're getting advice, but we're always constantly learning, constantly growing. So that's a major important thing with that is, and honestly, that goes hand in hand with the second thing, train, study. I've been like around it, like you said, for so long, and I still don't stop studying. I learn and grow every day from it and learn from the people around me and enjoy it. Confidence is a thing. Rock who you are. Like if you're a referee, own it.
Own it.
You know, Yeah, but honestly, learn what you're doing and study. Study, because that to me is what helped me when I first made the transition over. I would and pick the brains of those around you that have been doing it longer than you. Um, I ask questions to senior referees that are around me all the time, or people that have been on TV, like, hey, the referees that you've had on TV, how do they do this or how do they do that? My referee notebook travels with me every time I take a booking. Every time. It's in my training bag every week. It's in my travel bag. So never stop learning and growing. And like I said again, ears open, mouth shut, just learn.
Like I said, ears open, mouth shut. And like I said, when of course, when Elaine Simon tells you that, you better damn well believe you listen to what she says. Then it's another thing too. Like, and two, the thing about, do you think somebody breaking into the business is good to learn by, like, can social media and wrestling help you where a wrestler may post this? I mean, then you have somebody who has their email, you can reach out to them. Can social media help somebody breaking into wrestling? Because social media has been a big, like, that big sandwich that's been closed into, wrestling.
I believe social media is an amazing tool. I've used it myself to ask certain people and referees for advice. I've used it to post matches. There's even a big zebra community on Facebook called Zebra Talk, where referees can literally go back and forth asking each other, hey, what about this? Or what do you think of this? Where should I learn from this? So there is outlets on there on social media that you can go to, but just be careful and know the source of who you're asking as well.
Yeah.
That you don't end up getting the wrong information.
Wrong information. Yeah. Cause it's like, you don't want to go on social media talking to this person and they're like a fake booker promoter. Then, hey, come, email me back, come to the school. And it's like, it's not really a real school with a lot of recognition. And then, cause we've heard those stories, somebody going to wrestling school and, we know how that went, but yeah, and like you said too, because some people I've had on the show have had mixed emotions about that, but social media seems that, it gives you a platform to pretty much show your work. Like you said, go on YouTube and, show your work and everything. So, but the thing about it is too, like I said, you never stop learning as well. And you got, of course, Women's Wrestling Army, but they're doing great things, Mission Pro Wrestling. And like I said, Coastal Championship Wrestling. These three places, if you can pick one or two things, Elaine, about these places, what do they do that are great and in their own individual way?
Okay, I'll start with Women's Wrestling Army and Mission Pro because they're both similar.
Okay.
They both give an outlet for women that you may not see on TV, or that may not have a dark match, or that they may be newer to the wrestling industry and newer into having matches, especially Mission Pro. Mission Pro was really, really good at that, with taking students or even unknown names of women and giving them a chance, almost like Shimmer did in its past as well. So in that, there's been a lot of opportunity for women to grow and them to work women that they would not necessarily have wrestled anywhere else. So with that fact, those two have really given a lot of opportunity and outlets for women of this generation to kind of grow the next generation of women's talent.
Man, that is, because it's like, Maria Kanellis, like, she started Women's Wrestling Army. She's done a great job and, starting the promotion. And that's why I got the backdrop in the background and support what they've been doing and everything. So, because that promotion is upcoming too. Wrestling is just so much fun today. And, you got people who say this and that, but I always say just enjoy it. And like you said too, every promotion has a different flavor, and get a taste of it. And you'll get definitely the good end of the deal for all these different wrestling promotions. Now, like I said, you've been through a lot, and I made these for you, and I'm gonna call this segment, girl, you deserve your respects, because you definitely do. So we're gonna go back to memory lane. So I put a little clapness on there for you, because this is, of course, part one. And like I said, Elaine, you've come a long way, wrestler, referee. When you see your wrestling days, do you ever go back and reflect, or you're just like, I'm a referee now, that's over with? Like, how do you do that often, or that's like a closed chapter for you?
It'll never be a closed chapter for me. I'm going to start with that, because if it wasn't for that chapter of my life, I wouldn't be in the chapter that I'm in now.
Yeah.
It helped form me. I, to be honest with you, think that it helped me become a better referee because I've seen that side of it. So I kind of know movement wise how to be fluid, what to look for, what I would want in a referee when I was wrestling. So it's never to me a closed chapter of my life. It's something that I go back, and I've even a couple of days ago watched a match that I had done, one of my last matches I had done, and I was just like, okay, so then I watched myself in it. Then it's twofold. I watched the referee that I had, and I'm like, okay, what would I do with this? Or how would I have done that different? So yeah, it's something that I reflect on pretty frequently, and it's not anything that I want to go back to at current moment, or never say never. But for right now, I'm so happy in the, not to be cliche, but the lane that I'm in, that I don't that I don't want to go back into that for the time being. And I'm really happy with this. So this is what I want to do. And it's not until I found the zebra stripes that I feel like I actually found my confidence and where I fit in the professional wrestling world.
It's not cliche because you said, I like what you said. I'm staying in the lane that I'm in, and if that lane's working for you, stay in it, because people know who you are. People know that you put the work in 100%. So ain't nobody complaining about you 100%, because they know the grind you've been through and getting to where you are today here on this night, here on Off the Top Rope. Now we got part 2 of this, of course, and I read through this because I've had my difficult times as well in my life. So you got, refined in my lane, you got your fitness thing, and this to me is a big respects I give to you, because reaching out to this community, which I took from this, and how big has this gotten? How much of people gravitated to this? Because it really struck me how you're doing this and helping people out, because you've been through a lot yourself.
Yeah, so it hasn't really gotten too big yet because I had to take a step back and just work on myself for a while, just because of some family things that had happened, that I'm actually taking the life lessons that I've learned and the things and putting them onto myself, because I want to show other people that if I can turn one, grief into growth and learn and thrive in life from it afterward, you can as well. And 2, because I have hypothyroidism, I stand on that soapbox and always will, because I've done so much research and it's something that's near and dear to me because there's not much research out there. If I can show another woman that having this, I guess you can call it an illness, you can live a perfectly good life and thrive and be happy and not have to be a size 2 to be fit and to have a healthy body and mindset, because at the end of the day, it's about your mindset first and your body secondary. So that's literally, with both of those things, kind of where I stand with that, is you have to work on here before you can work on here, because without one, you're the other one's not going to follow. Yeah, so with both of those things right now, I'm actually in a rebuilding phase with those. And there should be a blog and a podcast coming up soon, not necessarily a coaching yet, but a blog and a podcast that I'm going to be doing just to share my journey. Because as you know, Ty, off when we've spoken, it's been a rough 3 years, and I've come out of it probably, like I said, in the best mindset I probably have been in years. And I am so grateful for it.
Yeah. Well, because, it's like I said, we keep in touch, through Facebook and everything. I've seen difficult times you have. Like I said, I'm definitely proud of you. And I can see by, mind, body, heart, what you put in, that, your joy in life, you're at a really, really great place. I know you're loved and reffing it up in the ring and just having fun. And, one thing I always want to ask, every person in wrestling may have a different opinion about this. Is there a way that, we know wrestling, it can be tough. I mean, just on the body, the mind, the spirit, we lost a lot of the greatest talents in the world, but can you live like that life and have fun in wrestling, or it's just like being wrestling and it's just like destruction, like on the line?
I think we're in a different era of that, where it used to be destructive because there was a lot of foreign substances. I think now it's kind of what you make it. I take now moments where I didn't take moments years ago in my own life, where I'll take a moment to myself and go journal. I'll take a moment to myself and go see somewhere, like a city, if I'm in it. Like I visited Nashville about last year, and I took some time and I literally walked around downtown Nashville because I still love the journey of life and I don't want to miss anything. But like I said, I feel like you have to take the moments where you can get them to kind of keep your mind in check. I feel like a lot of people now are doing therapy and self-work and journaling and meditation. So a lot of people are staying more mentally healthy and enjoying this life because you're not given a second one. And why not enjoy it? If you don't enjoy it, then you shouldn't be doing something, to be honest. Like,
yeah, that's straight up preaching. Preach, sister, preach. That's straight up preaching right there. Because you know, Elaine, I've learned that, and everybody watching the broadcast live right now, I've learned that with this crazy world, tomorrow is not guaranteed. And for me, my therapy and having fun is doing this show and talking to the best wrestling talent in the world. You know, Elaine herself talking to these pro wrestling talent. It's the greatest feeling in the world to be doing this, what I'm doing. So just keep, smiling, having fun. And, it brings me to ask you, Elaine, you said you were in Tennessee. I'm a big foodie. Who isn't? So when you were in Tennessee, if you had the chance, what was a food that you had there that was so good? Because it's like, I'm the type, when I go to a wrestling match, I got to have a good move, like any kind of food. Like what's probably the best city you've been in and the food was just like out of this world?
Well, I'm trying not to be biased to New York City because I was born and raised there. So we're just going to let that one go. I would say, as far as food, the two cities that really have done it for me, San Antonio, because it's authentic, Tex-Mex food, and their food is amazing. And Chicago, there's so much different food that you can go do. The pizza, even though I feel sacrilegious in saying that, but the pizza in Chicago is really good. I've had a lot of mom and pop places in these towns because I can have chain food where I live in Orlando. There's plenty of tourists, plenty of chain food restaurants here. I want to go somewhere that I don't have here. And when I was in San Antonio, I was seeing a lot of those places. And then I saw just a random taqueria, and I'm like, ooh, okay, yes, let's go here. let's get some authentic Tex-Mex fajitas and tacos and all of the things because I'm here. Why not? Why not experience what the city has?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just food and wrestling. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. Now, of course, this is like I said, you've been on my show before. You may not remember, but I usually do a special segment for any talent on my show to have fun. So you ready for this next segment?
Yes.
All right. We're going to rock and roll and see what we can do with this here. Here we go.
Damn, Ty. That's good.
Here we go with the question. Now, the question is, we, of course, WrestleMania last weekend, we're in WrestleMania season. Now, you being a referee, what would your WrestleMania moment be? One match, could be anyone. You love the ref in a match.
There's two matches. One would be Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix.
Oh,
that would be one. And the other one would me going back in time and doing Medusa when she was a Lunger Blades versus Asha Kong.
Oh yeah. That's
those would be my two.
Yeah. It's just like Rhea Ripley today is like she's just awesome. Medusa, can't say enough about her. So but hey, if you had to step out, I gotta say, you got to step out of the referee shirt, put the skates back on, and put you in there. I think that'd be a good triple threat, though, in any one of those matches. So it'd be like a one night return. So, but I guess I'm glad you enjoyed that question, and like I said, you definitely get an A+ on that. So I'm glad you like that segment here on Off the Top Rope. And Elaine, as we roll out of here for this awesome Saturday night episode of Off the Top Rope, I want you to just slam and promote the heck out of to all your fans. What's up with you next? Because you are busy with, of course, you got Coastal Championship Wrestling, Women's Wrestling Army. You can throw some Mission Pro Wrestling in there. What's up next for you? I got your email on there. So what is next for Elaine Simon?
Well, next is, speaking of Coastal Championship Wrestling, a place that I consider my home. They will be in Kissimmee, Florida, next Friday, the 14th, in Old Town at, I believe the place is called Fun in the Sun or Sunspot. I forget what they call it now. It's changed so many names. But we will be in Kissimmee, Florida for that. That'll be the next one. And then Saturday, the 15th, I am doing just a one-off show here in Florida as well. But I'm excited for Friday with Coastal Championship Wrestling. And just stay tuned to my social media. I promote them when I'm on shows. I put in all my information. I also have a pro wrestling tees store. So you can find Wrestling Rosario merch as well. So there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things, like I said, because, like I said, she is one of the best in wrestling, legendary. Like I said, you get her shirt, her gear, and everything. Check her out. And Women's Wrestling Army, Coastal Championship Wrestling, Mission Pro. Like I said, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this again because she is the best referee going today. Referee Elaine Simon is doing her thing in pro wrestling today. And Elaine, I'm going to ask you before we roll out of here, from 1 to 10, would you come back on Off the Top Rope again?
10. 10, definitely 10. Blazing 10s. Like shouted from the rooftop 10s.
Shout from the rooftop. So, yeah. Well, I want to say thank you very much. And I'm super glad that we finally had the time to get this freaking show scheduled and get it together, because it's been a long time. So like I said, two friends meeting up after years to talk and have fun and talk wrestling. So like I said, you're always welcome back on the ropes. I want to say first and foremost, I'm proud of you and what you accomplished.
Thank you.
Keep kicking ass. Like I said, people getting your face in that ring, DQ them, tell them to get out of there, and just keep being the best referee in the game today. And most importantly, hey, God bless and keep the hard work going.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a fun chat.
I'm your boy, Ty Asbury. Thank you for watching this awesome Saturday night episode of Off the Top Rope. My live guest tonight was the best referee in wrestling today. Elaine Simon was my guest today to talk about her pro wrestling referee journey. I'm your boy, Ty Asbury, and tomorrow is Easter. So, hey, have your fun. I'll let you slide. Just eat all the food and just grub, because you only live once. Everybody, I'm out here. Love yourselves. Love God. We're out of here. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah. Tyrone Asbury. Yeah. I need y'all to listen to me right now as I take you on this journey. Podcast journey. Only the greats can make it to this level.